The global list configuration menu items are applicable to various modules throughout the system. Edit company information is where company settings and info are stored. The address is used for system-generated paper billing invoices, and in the absence of data entered in the remittance address details section, this address will populate to the invoices. The admin email is where messages to the system security administrator will be sent. All users have the ability to do so via the options menu. This is helpful so that users can ask specific questions to the designated on-target super user from within your organization. The session timeout field controls the amount of idle time that can occur prior to automatic system logout. This should align with your internal policies. Password expiration should also align with your internal policies for electronic documentation practices. This determines the frequency in which your users must change their passwords. Cost centers are typically defined as your physical service locations. Cost centers are assigned at both the client and employee level and therefore allow you to report on critical numbers per location. A unique feature of the system is that billing, payroll, accounts receivable, and accounts payable can all be drilled into by cost center, allowing for reliable and accurate financial data for each location providing services. If you provide services from a single location, you may consider your various service programs as cost centers, or you may just create a single cost center. Cost centers are also very important in the security setup, as each user can be assigned to all cost centers, or they can be restricted to only viewing the client and employee data for individual cost centers. The required details here are cost center code, which is limited to 2 digits and is internal to the system. The description, which will be the common name in all drop-downs throughout the system, and the state code. Depending on your state, you may also leverage local code and tax location if you are implementing payroll and your specific state has work tax rules. Chart of accounts are critical for any general ledger reporting. Depending on your level of implementation, you will need to set up assets, liabilities, equity, revenue, and expense accounts. These accounts are then assigned at various locations throughout the billing, payroll, AP, AR, and general ledger modules. To add an account, simply click Add, give the account a description, along with an account number, and designate the type: asset, liability, revenue, expense, equity, and retained earnings. Lastly, default dashlets allow you to force the critical dashlets to your organization that need to be visible for everyone upon login. This ensures that each user is benefiting from the tools and shortcuts provided on the dashboard. It is recommended at minimum that the tasks dashlet is set as a default, since that is the mechanism for internal messaging and alerts and supports critical workflows. If notes are implemented, then the notes dashlet is recommended as a default as well. This is where users will see outstanding notes requiring signature, or for supervisors, this will be a shortcut into signed notes ready for approval. When payroll is implemented, paychecks is recommended so that each user has full visibility to all of their pay stubs. Some of the other dashlets are more security role-based in nature and therefore not made a default for each user. The appropriate access is allowed to the respective user roles in the Configure Roles screen. For additional assistance, contact support by going to Options, Support, Contact Support.